So today we're talking about Vilhjalmur Stefansson.
What?
Vilhjalmur Stefansson.
Who?
The Arctic explorer and ethnologist. Yeah.
Something ethno. I don't like where this is going.
No, he's a pretty chill dude. He's from Arnes, Manitoba, which is out near like Gimli.
Oh, nice.
Kind of ish area out. They have like a monument to him out there. I don't know if I'd call it a monument. It's not really a statue. It's more of just a fucking thing.
Yeah.
It talks about him on it a little bit.
They also have a Bible camp in Camp Arnes.
Sure, yeah. A lot of people went there.
I went there
for school as younger.
Totally.
They trick you. They go, we're going to camp. And then you get there. And then on the first day before they let you into like the lunch hall or whatever, they're like, all right, everyone, time to say grace. But we do it in a fun way.
Yeah.
So we do it to the tune of the Superman theme song. Don't worry, I'll teach you the words. Thank you, God, for giving us food. Thank you, God, for giving us food. Yeah, so it's pretty catchy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had different versions of them. They'd do like Addams Family. They'd be like, time to eat food.
Time to eat food. Yeah. Time to eat food and praise the Lord.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. But then they'd also give you like a bow and arrow to shoot at your friends with. So
totally. And if you didn't get the words right to the songs, they would discipline you severely.
Mm-hmm. Christian style.
Yeah, it was a stick. Not cool.
Yeah, so just like a cool explorer dude from that area. Born in 1879.
You say area, or did you mean era?
Area, like that area of Manitoba.
Oh,
Gimli.
okay, cool. All right.
But also he's from that era, 1879. He's from that area, in that era.
Okay.
And
Thought I caught him.
his parents emigrated from Iceland to Manitoba 2 years earlier.
Wow.
Yep, they lost 2 children during a period of devastating flooding. And the family moved to Dakota Territory, in 1880 and settled in there about a mile southwest of the village of Mountain.
There's a town called Mountain?
In Pembina County, I guess.
They gotta, come on, man. You gotta work on your naming skills here.
Yep. So,
there's our town called Tree. Sorry.
Mountain, Tree. Go ahead.
Quick aside.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna interrupt you.
Yeah, please do.
Frequently. They moved from Iceland to Manitoba. A lot of people don't know Manitoba, massive Icelandic
Very
population.
Nordic, Scandinavian, all that. Yep.
Do you know at all why Icelanders picked Manitoba, Gimli?
Probably just the ease of travel via whatever that is to come, if we're looking at a classic map from, up north that way down to us. Maybe political or
cuisine.
The word I don't think it's cuisine. You think they're coming for chicken fingers?
They're coming for honey dill.
I think they brought the dill for the honey dill. No, I meant more like social, political reasons where it's like, oh, we actually don't want to go into Europe or whatever. We'd rather just go to this way.
Manitoba.
Yeah.
Came through the Hudson Bay. Okay, cool. Nice.
I would assume. I don't know their story specifically, but
yeah. And we don't care.
I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, totally.
So he's born William Stephenson with a PH, just a classic William Stephenson, which is pretty white.
Yeah.
And then changed his name to Vilhjalmur Stefansson later on during his college years.
Hipster.
I assume, to like honor more of the Icelandic side.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people changing their name from Friesen to Von Riesen right now.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's Dutch.
The most pretentious shit of all time.
I wonder, I'm sure the Dutch, I think this guy is an explorer and he hangs with a lot of Dutch dudes.
Sure.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the Dutch settled similarly here with, whoever the Friesens are.
Yeah. They're Mennos.
Yeah, but what's that?
Yeah. Good question.
On to the next.
Carry on.
So studied some anthropology in North Dakota. He studied anthropology at Harvard.
Damn.
Yep. Where for 2 years he was an instructor as well. And then in 1904 and 05 did some archaeological research in Iceland. Got recruited by Ejnar Mikkelsen and Ernest de Colvin Leffingwell.
Oh, those guys. Don't get me started on Ejnar.
The dogs of expedition.
My boy Ejnar.
And he lived with the Inuit of the Mackenzie River Delta during the winters of 1906 and 07 and returned alone across the country via the Porcupine and Yukon rivers. So
this guy's a badass.
much of his interest was in like Inuit people exploring like Alaska, the Arctic, that sort of stuff, and seeing just like, how they live, how they eat, how they survive effectively was his curiosity. What's the next interesting point? Did some ethnological surveying of the central Arctic coast and shores from about 08 to 12. In 08, he made a decision that would affect the rest of his time in Alaska. He hired Nat Kusiak, an Inuk guide who would remain with him as his primary guide for the rest of his Alaska expeditions.
Oh, shit. He found a buddy.
Found an old pal, sort of a Sherpa, as it will, obviously, because he doesn't know the areas. He's showing up being like, I don't know, but I would like to explore.
I don't know. I'm about to make a bunch of discoveries. I want to, and I'm going to get famous. You're not going to.
Yeah,
do the work.
Effectively. I'm sure he's got, things to trade too. He's got goods to offer, and he's got a cool ship to be like, look, I'm traveling,
Yeah. Here's some booze and a gun. Can I get a blanket?
So at the time he met her, she was working for Captain George B. Leavitt, Massachusetts whaling captain.
I don't believe it.
And a friend of his who sometimes brought him replenishments of supplies from the American Museum of Natural History. We then it kind of jumps to Christian Klenenberg introducing Stephenson to the term blonde. I'm going to say Inuit. They use a word that we don't call them anymore.
Inuit we don't use?
No, we use Inuit. We don't use
Eskimo.
Yes.
Eskimo.
So there was a group of Inuit people that were, like blonde haired and had sort of more Icelandic features effectively. And so he became kind of fascinated in like, where are these guys from? Like
what are you?
What causes this? And he had a couple of theories ranging from obviously just like Icelandic people come this way, they're already here, they mate, and then obviously this is kind of what you end up with, right?
Why don't we say the word Eskimo anymore?
I think they just don't. I think Inuit is preferred.
They don't like it.
I don't know the actual connotation behind it other than that. Yeah, maybe it is. It's one of those classic things where probably colonizers and settlers came and that was the word maybe they used. So that's what those are. And then now they're just like, we're not really.
We were never that. You made up that word.
Yeah, we were never Indians. You just thought you were in India, dumbass.
Because you're fucking dumb.
Yeah, I just want to be clear here that you're the fucking moron.
Yeah.
Okay,
totally.
yeah. No, we'll sign the treaty, but I want to be clear. Does it say in here that you're the fucking moron?
Yeah, totally. Can we get a stipulate? Can we have a clause that states specifically that you're fucking morons and you're calling us the wrong name?
It does say that Stephenson did prefer copper Inuit. That's what he liked as a term for these people. A copper Inuit is maybe a better thing to say.
Copper.
Newspapers popularized the other term because it just caught attention.
Oh, okay.
Because it was like, whoa, what? Huh. I never heard of that. So just caught more eyes on the newspaper reading it.
Oh, sure. What is this thing?
I don't know. Inuit, you'd be like, what is it? I don't care, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So that was kind of his early interest, early work. He would go on to organize and direct a Canadian Arctic expedition from 1913 to 1914 to explore the regions west of Prairie Archipelago for the government of Canada. So he said, hey guys, I'll go check it out. We'll go give me some ships and I'll come back with some mapping and some...
No one's ever been here before.
Not for the purpose of, mapping and charting and things of this nature, I guess.
Cool.
At least not for the government of Canada. At least, maybe Russians or maybe whatever the case is. But he's working for the Canadians at this point, saying, hey, I'd love to go explore for you guys. Give me some money, right? He's looking for funding, essentially, right?
Yeah,
to be
totally.
Like, he's a hustler, just like any grant-funded artist.
Which, by the way, we're also looking for funding to explore the podcast world. Yep. All right?
Yep.
So if you're out there, fund us.
Give me $50.
Give me $50 and we'll go find something funny.
Whatever you want. So they took 3 ships. They took the Karluk, the Mary Sachs, and the Alaska. What had happened was the Karluk became marooned in the ice in August, September of 1913. And he was like, I'm going to leave. It got stuck in the ice. And he was like, I'm going to go hunt and I'll come back with food. Because what would happen is the ship would get stuck in the ice But it's like, it's ice. It's frozen. You can now stand on the ice. You're fine. You're not drowning or anything. But you're shipwrecked. You're fucked.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm going to go get some food. I'll come back and I'll feed us up real good. What do you say for that? You know?
I was like, hell yeah, Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, brother. I love that.
Please, go find the meat and we'll stay here and wait for you.
Some of the other guys who were left on the ship did suspect that he left on purpose, anticipating that the ship was going to get caught in the moving ice and kind of get drifted away.
This guy's full of shit. I think we're going to die.
And that's what happened. They got carried away by moving ice.
What?
So the ship, with Captain Robert Bartlett of Newfoundland and 24 expedition members aboard, drifted westward with the ice and was eventually crushed.
Good God. I thought this guy was a hero.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
It's the winner rewrites the history, baby.
Sure.
It sank on January 11th, 1914. 4 of the survivors made their way to Herald Island, but eventually died there, possibly from carbon monoxide poisoning, which I don't fully understand. It could be if they were, you imagine if something flips and you're kind of hiding in a bubble of air pocket, but then that becomes not air. It becomes slowly, So I guess that would be carbon dioxide over time, not monoxide, but I can't think of how.
They just built a house and didn't have a radon detector or something.
They just forgot. Oh, fuck, I forgot. Oh, I feel dizzy.
Told you we got to clean these air ducts out. The central air is all clogged up.
So died before they could be rescued. 4 others, including a guy called Alistair McKay, who had been part of the Nimrod expedition that was led by Ernest Shackleton. You might be a little bit familiar with Shackleton. They tried to reach Wrangel Island on their own, but also perished. The remaining members of the expedition, under command of Captain Bartlett, made their way to Wrangel Island, where 3 of them died. Bartlett...
These guys are taking a fucking beating,
They're taking a beating big time. Bartlett and the Inuk hunter Kataktovik made their way across the sea ice to Siberia to get help. To be like, hey, it's looking bad. It's not looking great over there.
They just walked to Siberia.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're heading over to Siberia to try to get some help. The remaining survivors get picked up by the King and Winge, an American fishing schooner, and the USRC Bear, a cutter of the United States Revenue Cutter Service, which you have to look into that.
Yeah.
Revenue Cutter Service.
Last episode, we were talking about straw cutters and poop cutters. Now we got revenue cutters.
Yeah. Next week, the stone cutters.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cutter podcast.
Cutter heavy. He resumed explorations by sledge over the Beaufort Sea, leaving Alaska in April 1914. A supporting sledge turned back offshore, but he and 2 men continued onward on one sledge, living largely by his rifle on polar game for 96 days until his party reached the Mary Sacks in autumn.
Holy shit, dude.
He continued exploring until 1918, so for 5 full years he would have been exploring at that point, sort of thing.
These guys are a different breed, dude. I have a hard time surviving in modern day Winnipeg outside for longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah, and these guys have watched their friends die and then just go, I gotta get to Siberia.
Let's go to Siberia. Maybe they have food there.
And these guys would be doing a little bit better because they have some locals with them that would have understood, like, oh, we wear hide for warmth and we wear fur for warmth. And so they wouldn't have been like bare.
Sure.
But as you saw, a lot of them did not survive. So because it is icy water and things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
This is a good one. The Wrangel Island fiasco.
Yeah, bad idea settling on Wrangel Island.
Yeah.
That's nothing good's going to happen on Wrangel Island.
So in 1921, this is now, he encourages and plans an expedition for 4 young men to colonize Wrangel Island, north of Siberia, where the 11 survivors of the 22 men from the Karluk had survived from March to September of 1914. So he's basically like, you can live there. Those guys proved it.
Just settle down.
Yeah. So what if we did it on purpose this time, sort of thing?
Yeah.
So he had designs for forming an exploration company that would be geared towards individuals interested in Arctic touring. So his idea was like, set up a company with kind of like maybe some outposts out there where it's like I can take people up, show them, take them back, and they pay me. And it's like, we did it. We explored together.
The Wrangel Island tourism industry?
Like,
crazy
smart
idea.
dude. And it's like, you can't do that alone. So if you're interested in that, then like, Why not?
Sure.
You know?
Not bad.
He originally wanted to claim the island for the Canadian government. So he'd been working with them and said, hey, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to fucking put a flag in it. You guys want it? They said, due to the dangerous outcome of his initial trip to the island, the government refused to assist with the expedition. Dangerous outcome, meaning that, like, on that first trip, a bunch of people died up there. We don't want to.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We lost 40 dudes. This doesn't sound like a great island.
Yeah, you didn't go back for them.
Yeah, totally. You left. Those bodies are still there.
Yeah, but I'm here now.
Yeah, I can make it good. Canada, please.
So when they said no, he then wanted to claim the land for Britain. But the British government rejected the claim when it was made because they just...
Bro, nobody wants your shitty island.
Well, what effectively happened was they raised the British flag on the island, and it was a Russian territory, and then it caused an international incident.
Oh, shit.
So British people were like, no, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. It was like, it was just him.
This guy's starting a war.
Almost starting a war just by being like, I'm sorry, I thought we could just claim this.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't know.
You were here?
Where's your flag?
Yeah, I can't see it.
So the 4 young men he recruited for this particular expedition.
Sorry, is this Shackleton?
No, this is Stephenson.
Wilhelm. Okay, good.
This is himself. Shackleton only come up briefly because he was Stephenson was previously working with Alistair McKay,
Okay.
who had been on the Shackleton Nimrod expedition.
Okay.
And he got him killed.
No.
So he got Alistair McKay, who survived the Shackleton expeditions, killed on his dumb fucking Carluck expedition.
Yeah.
So international incident, Britain says, no, we don't want to be involved. The 4 guys that he brought are just like wildly inexperienced, super ill-equipped for the expedition, just like young men that are like, this sounds great.
Yeah.
Fun. So they all die on the island or in an attempt to get help from Siberia across from the frozen sea.
Let's go to Siberia. Maybe they have some shoes there. I should have brought shoes.
Yeah, so the only survivors were Ada Blackjack, an Inupiaq woman the men had hired in Nome, Alaska as a seamstress and taken with them as a cook, and the expedition's cat, Vic. So there you go. The animals always survive.
Hell yeah, Vic. Badass cat.
Ada Blackjack had taught herself survival skills and basically like cared for the men as much as she could. Cared for the last man, E. Lorne Knight, until he died of scurvy. And she was not rescued until 1923. So this is 2 years later from when they had planned it. So she was pretty banged up, spent 2 years on the island. So more people just suffering because Stephenson's like, exploration is fun.
Yeah,
I love to explore. And they're like, your name's William. He goes, yeah, but I love Vilhjalmur more.
Yeah.
I like when you call me that better.
Do you guys want to see something new? Or it's like, yeah.
Yeah, how far is it? He goes, just over there, like so close.
So I'm telling you, it's not like, 10 minutes really, maybe 2 weeks. It's not a big deal.
He's the guy that texts you and you're like, hey man, how close are you? And he goes, oh, on the way, bro. I'm on the way already.
On the way. It's not, no, dude, it's not even that cold out. Come on. It's like, dude, we've lost 49 people on this trip.
So on this one, he did draw the ire of the public and the families of the men who died for having such, like, he's like, why would you bring them?
Yeah.
You knew they couldn't do it. Why would you bring these guys?
Yeah.
So his reputation took a ding on this one, compounded with the car luck. They were kind of like, does this guy suck at exploring? Like, why do we keep sending him out?
Yeah.
He produced the first written records of several places. So Brock Island, Mackenzie King Island, Borden Island.
Oh, okay, cool. Those are big ones.
So he's, and the edge of the continental shelf was also kind of his first. So he did find a lot of stuff, but obviously towards the end there, he was not doing so good at it.
Bro.
And that wasn't even towards the end, realistically. That was just that period of his career.
Call it a career, honestly.
I would. If I found one thing, I'd be like, that's it. I'm going to live here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That sounds brutal. Like whenever you hear about the pioneers like starting something, no matter where it is, even the pioneers that settled in Manitoba early on, the explorers who went up north, it sounds like such shit. Like I can't imagine settling even in like warm Manitoba with all the mosquitoes and the swampland, and they're just sitting up tents trying to get, farming territory going.
Yep. It's for some little reward. Like so now, you can farm here forever.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
You like that?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you want. Now you get to live here. Cool. But you're going to be grinding every day of your life for nothing.
Yep.
Really.
And the Karluk story is actually like much crazier. We kind of skimmed through it because the Karluk story alone could be a pretty full hour episode easily sort of thing. But they fully shipwrecked like I sort of described. But then you're not like underwater, you're not submerged. So they had a full shipwreck camp set up.
Yeah.
With like flags set up for like, hey, if anyone sees this, we're fucked here sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because it was like, okay, we can stay sturdy on this ice, but if it starts to shift, let's get off this ice onto this ice so that we're not floating apart. Like it's like an ice age scene. Like it's very,
yeah.
You can imagine how terrifying it would be like, the crack's coming, Mom, get on this side of the ice.
Yeah. Dude, I was going to ask, how'd the ship get crushed? Like, I mean, isn't it a slow process? How are guys in there?
I think that's the thing is essentially it gets caught between, you're traveling through the ice.
Yeah.
On the water. And you get caught because maybe the ice pinches. There's no more path through the ice. You start to drift off of your path and then the ice just smooshes you effectively.
Yeah.
So not crushed this way, obviously, but crushed this way. That's where we're shipwrecked. Now they live on the surface of the ice for as long as they can until it's like, okay, we got to keep moving.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude. Wilhelm, just get a job in the city. Okay. You don't have to go into the Arctic. There's nothing there.
He really enjoyed it. He had quite a time out there.
Some guys, man.
Yep. And he remained well known for the rest of his life, later in life through his affiliation with Dartmouth College. He was the director of polar studies.
Oh, really? Okay, here's how you get crushed. Don't do this.
No, I've seen some of the stuff, and it's cold up there.
Yeah, totally.
And so he became a major figure in the establishment of the United States Army's Cold Regions Research and Engineering Laboratory, CREL, in Hanover, New Hampshire, which I think is where he would die ultimately, if I recall correctly.
Crazy.
Yeah, often conducted research in the winter on the forbidding summit of Mount Washington, was key to developing materiel and doctrine to support alpine conflict. So he did do a lot of, like legitimate scientific research as far as, but he also did a lot of really dumb, boneheaded shit.
Stupid shit.
And some sneaky shit as far as like, I mean, you can call it sneaky, but you can also call it smart as far as like, hey guys, I'm going to go hunt.
Yeah.
You guys stay here. But also you could have just been like, we should all leave.
Yeah, 100%.
So he kind of made the choice to be like, I'm going to go. You stay here.
It sounds like the classic, like, I'm going to go for help. You guys hang tight.
Exactly, yeah. Or like when you're at a restaurant, you're like, I just got to go to the car and get my wallet.
Yeah.
And then you don't pay for the meal.
Then you're driving away.
Yep.
He sounds like a bit of a psycho leading these guys out there. Like taking guys who weren't experienced is such a dick move. Yep. But it does... Our entire society was, I guess, founded by these guys who hopped on a ship and like, let's go see. And, I don't know. That explorer attitude.
That's what it is. There's some dumb, blind ambition you have to have in order to like...
Yeah, man.
Move the race forward. And by race, I mean, human.
Yeah. White humans.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you really do. You need some like, weird pioneer spirit. I don't have that. I'll pick through what we have.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to go. Do you think there's any places on Earth that are still completely unexplored?
Nah. Underwater.
Underwater, man.
Nothing like underwater. Otherwise, like the surface, because now we can just drone everything. We can fly over it and be like, yeah, there it is.
Great point.
Yeah. So anyway, he later was outed as a communist, and
was he?
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, in 1951. Well, he was denounced as a communist. Around then it was pretty easy to be like, he's got some weird thoughts. This guy might be a commie, and then they'd fucking ship you off or whatever. So
this whole country was founded by communists. God damn it.
He was politically active, so it's if you fell on the wrong side of it back then you got the commie card pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was card carrying necessarily, but
sure,
they called him one and shipped him off.
Yeah.
Interesting part of his story, and I guess we could probably...
Yeah, what time are we at?
I'll bring it home on this here. Yeah, hell yeah. Bring it home.
Bring it home now.
Interesting quote from him. Stephenson is frequently quoted as saying that an adventure is a sign of incompetence. What does that mean? An adventure is a sign of incompetence.
Also known for the quote, I suck.
Yeah. Also known for the quote. Oh, fuck, run, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, the ice.
Yeah. Also known for the quote, Wait, what happened to them? No. Okay.
Crazy. Some of them survived.
Fuck. Oh, now they died too? Fuck, man. Sorry. What was the quote? Say it one more time.
An adventure is a sign of incompetence.
Yeah. Because you're taking an adventure, right? You're going on an adventure. You don't know what you're doing yet.
Oh,
but
sure.
You're figuring it out.
So it's
just like Winnipeg stand-up comics, Louis, who are figuring the game out.
We're adventuring, Louis.
Yeah.
So so it sounds like when he actually used this quote would have been like, hey, why did you bring my son out there? You knew he was incompetent.
Yeah.
And he would say, an adventure is a sign of incompetence. The fact that he even wanted to adventure proved he was incompetent.
He froze to death 20 minutes after leaving this house. It was an adventure.
He was so competent at freezing to death.
Dude, you should have seen the adventure of first sawing off his foot, then his leg due to frostbite. It was a good time.
Someone here called him.
We all learned
that he was the greatest humbug alive.
Humbug?
Yeah, just like, I guess, like a piece of shit. Like, I don't know. I've never heard that word used that way.
Yeah.
I've heard bah humbug, but I've never heard someone called a humbug.
Yeah.
Referring to his mismanagement of the Wrangel Island fiascos.
Sure.
This time pluralized to include the first fiasco as well as him wanting to go back to the same island for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, if my 19-year-old kid got sweet talked by some dude named Wilhelm. We pioneer spirits, we're going to discover new lands. And my kid was like, yeah. And then he gets out there and freezes to death. And Wilhelm just leaves him on a ship and goes to hunt for seal meat.
It comes back with a bag of seal meat. They're like, is my son in there?
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is seal. Your son is, I left him.
Your son is named Saul. A different bag. I'd be like, yeah, fuck you, humbug.
Yeah, that's a humbug, motherfucker.
That's a humbug.
And so he lived to 82. It's pretty damn good. Lived to 1962.
Wow.
We got a photo of him here from 61. And he's got a vibe to him. Like you could look up the photos of him when he's young. He looks like Houdini. Like everyone looked like Houdini in that era.
Yeah.
Like just kind of had a very severe kind of square face.
Yeah.
Almost has like a blackness to him. Like
sure. Can I see?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, exactly. See, severe is a good word. Everyone had a severe, stern look.
We talked about that earlier, how like young people looked older back then. So it doesn't, and here it does say 1915. So he would have been, what was that?
1879.
2045 there? So actually looks pretty good for her.
Honestly,
all said and done. But then, yeah, here he is.
31.
Here he is, older, just looks like an old fucking Einstein.
He looks like an old man scientist.
Einstein-looking motherfucker. And that's what I wanted to wrap up on was that an interesting part of this guy is he would be a big-time Rogan Sphere type guy now.
Oh, really? Why?
He was a big carnivore diet guy. He was like a massive advocate for a meat-based diet. He said, when I was up there, I was only eating meat. That's it. And I would survive off of it. And you should try it too. And you should try whale oil, and you should eat raw fish, and you should eat seal liver and bear liver. And
the original liver king, dude.
He said that guy that died of scurvy, dude, he wasn't eating enough bear liver.
You weren't getting your A1, your greens.
Yep.
All right. You weren't doing your fucking ice baths, your cold baths. Fucking up, dude.
And this is a funny zing on him because he basically was pushing like, no, I eat all of this meat. I love eating meat. And then people were like, no, but if you look at like the Inuit diet, they're actually eating like considerably more than just meat. Like in the summer, they're eating plants and sea algae, and that's like makes up 50% of their vitamin C. You would have got scurvy too, pal.
Yeah.
You weren't not going to get scurvy. You would have ended up with scurvy.
For sure.
And then this guy calls him, this Clarence W. Lieb, who examined Stephenson, stated that he eats anything placed before him, but his tendency is to eat more meat than the average person.
Okay, so he's protein focused, but he's not pure carnivore.
Since returning to civilization, he has had a tendency to constipation and has infrequent colds, but is otherwise never ill. So that's kind of interesting.
Totally.
That's it. So the carnivore diet, Arctic exploring, leave behinding.
Yeah, totally. Betraying.
King of Gimli. If you go to Gimli, they got like I said, a thing up for him that'll tell you about him, and they love him.
Yeah, he's just Jocko Willing jacked.
Yeah.
because of the carnivore diet.
Yeah, it's not that he's killing people, it's that he's allowing them to die. You understand? It's different, and there's no laws against that.
There's no laws against that. You can't, even if you can help somebody, it's not your job to.
That is, honestly, that's so true. In the sense that it's like, hey, you guys did all agree to explore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I didn't research all of your backgrounds to make sure you're strong and fit and mentally capable of like, he's like, I did it all these times. I came back. Like,
why can't you?
That's the thing. On that trip, I would stick with old Willie.
Honestly.
Oh, he's the only one that came back last time? Guess who's coming back this time? Me and Willie.
100%. If he's the lone survivor, I'm like, oh, Billy, you're going to get some meat? No, I'm coming with. Yep. You're not leaving me here on the ship.
That's exactly it. So yeah, shout out to Andy Noble for that recommendation.
Shout out to Andy Noble.
I think he said that guy is someone's godfather in his family, maybe, or something like that. So
really?
they're tight with him too.
Nice.
He's Nordic. That's how he passed it off to me, that he said this guy is somehow tied in again to his family.
Andy Noble, related to the great explorer and coward Vilhjalmur Stefansson.
That actually checks out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, our friend.
One of the great cowards.
One of the great cowards, one of the great comics. Fantastic comic coming out of Winnipeg, because they do exist here, despite what you might have heard recently, you motherfucker.
If you was at the show, don't listen to all that.
Don't listen to all that, but watch the special because it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. Anyway, you want to plug anything before we bounce?
Louis the King. Well, first of all, plug Ashdown Market for this
Ashdown Market.
space.
Lucy's Comedy Club in the back, Ashdown Flame in the front.
Dude, they were cooking something while we were doing the podcast. Did you smell that?
Always smells good.
Man, it
always smells good.
They're deep frying some sort of pocket, and it is delicious.
And it's hot.
Yeah.
That pocket's hot.
At Tyler Penner Comedy on Instagram, and I'm headlining a Rumors June 3rd and 4th. Where to get tickets for that? rumorscomedyclub.com, or follow me on Instagram, and you can just hit me up on the DMs.
And then you will link them to the site.
And I will send them to the website that I just mentioned.
Yeah. I don't have tickets I can give you. I will send you to the site.
Yeah, just go to the goddamn site. Cut out the middleman. Me.
Cool. Yeah, I'm good and funny comedian on Instagram. You can follow me there. I too am headlining Rumors Comedy Club at the end of May. Winnipeg Comedy Festival. This might be coming out after that happens or on the day of, but come see it. Laughing with the Stars at the Gas Station Theater.
This guy's gonna be dancing with the stars. Who's your star?
Taz.
Taz is the star. Hell yeah. It's good. It's good. It'll be 8 minutes of laughter followed by 8 minutes of weeping. It'll be good times.
And
hugs. Oh, the
follow
hugs.
Follow the pod on Instagram, Prairie.Dogs.
Prairie.Dogs.
Prairie Dawgs podcast on YouTube.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Leave us reviews.
5-star review is important, I've heard.
Yeah.
And so do that, and then like and subscribe.
Totally. But if you hate us, 1-star review our ass. We don't care. Just get in there.
Yeah, if you hate us, go on Louis' page and go, good call.
Yeah, follow Louis and say, hey, you were right about those two.
Yeah, see how many people we can get to follow Louis and say, the Prairie Dawgs sent me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Prairie Dawgs, you were right at Prairie Dawgs. Do that.
Yeah, we're putting you on notice like a red bar, Louis.
Yeah,
you're on fool's notice, dog. We're coming.
Prairie Dawgs is watching.
All right, let's get the hell out of here.
All right, love you guys.
Okay, love you. Bye.
All right, bye.